If you are excited for Season 21 and Verity's Brow, I went ahead and tested all of the grenades except for the solar grenade, since we know that solar won't be in the artifact. And of course, I have all of the damage numbers for you guys here today. So therefore, sit back, relax, and just listen to see what grenades you might want to use in Season 21. Before we move any farther, if you are not subscribed to the channel, be sure to do so and turn on the post notifications bell. That way you can get notified whenever I post new updates in Destiny 2. And with that being said, we will get straight into arc grenades, because this is my prediction on what these subclasses will be. I think it might be a arc stasis mix in the artifact. However, the stasis grenades do not get buffed by Verity's Brow, so the damaging part of Verity's Brow does not really matter for stasis grenades. However, for the arc grenades, it does matter heavily. Starting off with the arc flux grenade, we get a damage number of around 155,000, and this is very good for a single explosion grenade, because you would compare this to fusion grenades, and that can easily get a damage number of over 300k. Moving on to lightning grenade, we have a damage number of around 409,000, and keep in mind you will only get this damage if the boss or the enemy that you are hitting does not get stunned. If they get stunned, sometimes they will go a little bit farther away from the lightning grenade, making it where it will do less damage just because they are out of range. However, usually bosses do not get stunned by the jolt from lightning grenades, so you should be able to easily get off a 400,000 damage grenade if you have ×5 death throws. As for the pulse grenade, it is the same thing for the lightning grenade. If it is a boss that is standing still and does not move from the jolt damage, then you will easily get over 300,000 damage. On the skip grenades side of things, this does not do too much damage, as I don't see this being good in PvE, as it has never really been good in PvE, doing only 112,000 with ×5. And the Arcbolt grenade is similar with very low boss damage. However, the add clear potential with the Arcbolt grenade is very good. If you have ×5 death throws with the Arcbolt grenade, you will get 63,418 damage every single chain. And on miners, this is 100% enough damage to kill them in one shot. And if you have the correct aspects on, you will be able to chain lightning other than just the Arcbolt chains. And last but not least, we have storm grenade, and this is the only grenade where the size of the enemy matters. If you have a ginormous enemy, of course you will hit every single bolt in your storm grenade, especially if you throw it in the correct spot. However, if the enemy is small, like how I was doing the damage testing on Carl, you really don't get the full damage numbers off. However, if we estimate, the damage numbers that I got off on Carl were 250,000, and if it were to hit every single bolt, you would easily get over 400k. That is it for the arc grenades. Moving on to strand, there is really only one grenade that you would be using with this, and that is the Threadling grenade. And the base damage of the Threadling with no aspects to help it is 90,849. Simply because of the fact that without any aspects or another exotic piece of gear, you will not get more than 3 Threadlings on a Threadling grenade throw. Since the stasis grenades don't get any damage increase, I'm not going to go over them. However, I will show the footage of me trying to see if there is any damage increase, and there really isn't any. The freeze damage is very low anyways. What you would be looking for is the explosion from the crystals that you create, or the shatter damage when you shatter the enemy, and both of these stay exactly the same. Therefore, since stasis grenades don't really work with the damage side of things, I went ahead and tested the void subclass grenades, and boy do these grenades do a lot of damage. However, I guarantee you would not guess which void grenade does the most damage. Go ahead and put in the comments right now what you think does the most damage, and then after you finish the video, check if you were correct, because I was not expecting this at all. Keep in mind, we do have the weaken effect on our subclass as well, just because you can run this very easily. It is just like running jolt on your arc grenades. Of course you're going to run it if you're going for grenade damage. And yes, the testing that I did with the arc grenades was with jolt as well, as you should have seen on the corner left when I was showcasing what damage they were doing. Starting off with the Vortex grenade, we get a damage number of 372,000. This is because we have the extra duration from our aspects and our fragments, as well as the weaken effect. However, 372 damage on a grenade that pulls enemies to the center every single time you throw one is very, very good damage. Moving on to the Void Spike. The only downside to the Void Spike, just like the lightning grenade, is you have to find a good placement for this grenade. If you don't find a good placement for this grenade and the enemy walks out of range, you will not get the full damage off. However, with Void Spike, the damage fall off is nowhere near as much as the damage fall off on lightning grenade. As long as the enemy is standing in the range of your Void Spike, they will be getting hit for the same amount of damage, but they will be getting stunned. And with all that being said, we get a damage number of around 327,000 damage. As for the Void Wall, this is where the damage numbers get crazy. If you went in the comments and you guessed Void Wall Grenade, you were correct. And the reason why the Void Wall is the top dog is because of how many ticks it can hit for. If you throw it directly under an enemy, it can hit for around 25 to 30 ticks, and each tick doing 23,000 on top of the first explosion damage doing 35,000 damage. Therefore, if you get all 30 ticks off of the Void Wall Grenade, I'm not sure if it is 30 or if it's 25. If you do know, let me know. However, even if it is 25, you will easily get a smooth 600k off of this grenade. And if it is 30 ticks, you will get an upwards of 750,000 damage just from the Void Wall Grenade. So obviously we do have a damage king with Verity's Brow. However, it is a void wall, so it is going to spawn in a horizontal line from wherever you throw it. Therefore, the enemy has to be standing on top of that line. But trust me, the range that they can be stepping away from the line is very far. I think it's like 1 to 3 meters away from the line. They will still be getting hit from the void wall, so it doesn't really matter. However, if you get that full damage off, it is huge damage numbers. Moving on to Void Shatter, you get around 130 to 150k, nothing really major. And of course, this is with Chaos Accelerant for that extra tracking capabilities. And then last but not least, we have Magnetic Grenade. I did test Magnetic Grenade as the normal damage without charging it up with Chaos Accelerant, and it did around like 125,000 damage. However, if you use Chaos Accelerant, it does a lot more damage. What I noticed is it is kind of bugged if you don't weaken the enemy before you use your Chaos Accelerant, because I was getting a damage number of 44,000 sometimes, and then also on other times I was getting 29,000, and then at the very last second, Carl's health would tick down very far down, showing that I would get that 44,000 damage without actually displaying the number. It would display 29,000, but I did get 45,000 one time. I will try this out with the tractor cannon to see if I can get 44,000 and see if it was just because of the weaken effect, and if it wasn't weakening, because I was getting white numbers when I got 29,000. If you get those yellow numbers, it will be around 44k. And with the 29,000, you can get 147,000 damage out of that, because there is 5 of those palm bombs that come out of your hand whenever you charge your magnetic grenade with Chaos Accelerant. And then if you get the 44k while the enemy is weakened times 5, you will get 220,000 off of the handheld magnetic grenade. These are all of the damage numbers that I really wanted to go over before season 21 dropped. So therefore, if this video did help you out, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you guys are going to be using and what you think the artifact is going to have inside of it. And as always, before I get out of here, make sure you all appreciate everything and everyone you have around you. I hope you all have a great day, and I love you all.